Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. So Manchester United have beaten Aston Villa to get their name in the hat for the next round of the EFL Cup. Huge win for Manchester United in the end. It was 4-2, plenty of goals. All the goals coming in an action-packed second half at Old Trafford, and Manchester United getting the win. Garnacho with a great little cameo towards the end of the game, the final 30 minutes, getting himself 2 assists as Manchester United overturned 2 deficits. Aston Villa going 1-0 ahead, and of course 2-1 ahead, but Manchester United winning the game 4-2 in the end. Goals from Martial, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay getting a goal towards the end. And Manchester United doing well to fight back and get the result. But it wasn't smooth sailing all the way through. There were issues at times. We made plenty of changes to the normal team that we play. We usually play with Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. And while Bruno did start today, he was predominantly starting out in the wide positions. And we had McTominay sitting deep with Fred and Donny van der Beek. And in the first half particularly, Fred, Donny van der Beek, McTominay and Fred were quite sloppy on the ball, and Donny van der Beek was non-existent. He needs to do a lot better. It does feel like we're coming to the end game with Donny van der Beek. Maybe he leaves in January or next summer, but he's not doing himself any favours with these performances. We started with the likes of, as I said, Bruno Fernandes was in the wide area. We have Marcus Rashford on the left, and Anthony Martial through the middle. Anthony Martial marking his return with a goal as well. That is now 4 goals in 6 games for Anthony Martial. He's had an injury-ridden season so far, a couple of injuries for him, and to get a goal today, fantastic for him. He played 60 minutes, and I thought his all-round play was pretty good in terms of his leading the line, his pressing, his hold-up play. When we did manage to get the ball, particularly forward in the first half, and to him, I thought he played really well. So it was good to see a return from Anthony Martial. Cristiano Ronaldo was not involved today. He wasn't in the squad at all. We are going to see the draw very, very soon. So I'm going to keep my eye on the screen as the draw is happening whilst I'm doing my review. But interestingly for United, we've got City and Liverpool who are also in the draw. But the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, been knocked out already. Even West Ham, you look at other Premier League teams who've just knocked Aston Villa out. Fair few Premier League teams have gone out. Bournemouth, Blackburn, Brighton, Burnley, Charlton, Gillingham, Leicester, Lincoln, Liverpool, City, MK Dons, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Wolves and Man United. Spurs going out as well. So it was vital United got a win today. Although the next round is straight after the World Cup final, almost like a couple of days, I think getting to the last 16 of this competition is important. We've not won a trophy in a while, so it was great to get there. We'll go through the game. First 15 minutes, pretty even. We had an offside goal, which came from Fred delaying a pass. It was again more poor decision making from him. Marcus Rashford was making the run for ages. He could see it, and Fred just delayed. He passes the ball eventually to Rashford, who gives the tap in to Bruno, but Rashford's offside. Fred's fault though, because Rashford was making the run for so long and he should have seen it. We kept trying to play through balls over the top or just in behind Aston Villa, and there were a few times where it was quite close, and there were a few offsides and stuff, but never really got any opportunities out of it. We had a Delo header from a Malacia cross, which was close. Bruno with a great pass to Rashford in the run-up to that. Wolves have got Gillingham in the draw. But I made a note here, McTominay and Fred were just sloppy in the first half. And as I said, Donny van der Beek just nowhere to be seen. So we never really managed to make the most of any positions that we did create, which was frustrating in the first half, as I said. McTominay and Maguire got bookings in the first half. And we kept trying this thing where we, as well as the ball over the top, we kept trying to overload Southampton against Lincoln. We kept trying to overload the left-hand side. Martial and Rashford were going over there. And then switching the ball over to Bruno. Again, created a few opportunities. Never capitalised though. So half-time 0-0. Not a great game. Not a great cup tie for Manchester United. Again, I made this note. I've said it a few times already. The midfield was non-existent. That's how I felt at half time. And then we come back in. It's Blackburn against Nottingham Forest. We come back in from the break, and we immediately concede. Fred, goes in for a 50-50. He wants handball. It wasn't handball. It wasn't obviously given. They break. One pass through to Ollie Watkins. Watkins is through on goal, and it's 1-0 to Aston Villa. A good goal for them, but a poor one for us to be conceding. Delo was high up the pitch. You could argue Maguire should be doing better. Maybe he could be trying to cut that pass out. Maybe you could try to be dealing with that a little bit better. But we lost the ball, high up the pitch, and then we're caught out of position. It was a sloppy goal to concede all around. Newcastle Bournemouth is another one of the ties just in. Sorry, I'm just watching the draw. As I said, Manchester United did bounce back straight away though. We got a goal straight away. Anthony Martial coming from a Bruno assist where he just squared the ball for Anthony Martial. It was a fantastic pass by Diogo Dalot. And Manchester City are playing Liverpool. So Manchester City are playing Liverpool. So one of those teams are going to go out, which obviously we'll see who we get. But if we can get through the next round, then you never know what can happen. But as I said, great to see Anthony Martial scoring. It was a tap-in for him. He had the defender sliding in front of him, which made it a little bit more difficult. It was a tap-in. The pass came from Diogo Dalot. Manchester United have got a home draw, so we're next out of the hat. Let's just wait and see who we've got before we go through with the review. Burnley at home. Vincent Kompany's Burnley. Decent side under Vincent Kompany. They're playing good football. They're winning games. They're scoring goals. Obviously conceded a few against Sheffield United. I think 5 against Sheffield United. But they will come to Old Trafford, a game where we will be favourites for. And hopefully we can get a win. Because as I said, Man City against Liverpool, one of them are going to get knocked out. Which means if we can get through, possibly, it gives us a good chance of winning one of the first trophy. Well, the first trophy of the season. So, as I said, we were at the 1-1 MK Dons against Leicester. 1-1. Which was Anthony Martial's goal, made by a great pass from Dalot, and then Bruno getting the assist for Anthony Martial. Then, despite having that great reaction to conceding, we concede ourselves. Diogo Dalot, own goal, 2-1. Young got so much time on the ball just outside the box. It's Charlton against Brighton. He got so much time on the ball just outside the box. He lofted the cross to the back post. Diogo Dalot fell asleep. And just before that, he had kind of glitched on the ball and let the ball roll out of play. Despite setting up the great goal for Manchester United, he went asleep on 2 occasions. This time it cost us. Leon Bailey heads the ball back across the box, and it ricochets off Diogo Dalot and into the goal. Poor defending by Manchester United again. We saw a raft of substitutions with Martial, Van der Beek and Fred going off. Garnacho, Eriksen and Ilanga coming on. That meant we had a front three of Garnacho, Ilanga, either side of Marcus Rashford. Van der Beek failing to impress again on his on a Manchester United start, which isn't what he wants to be doing. And just after that, we had a Rashford chance, which he missed, and it was just wide. He was onside, a good pass from Malacia, sent him through, and he missed. But then he got the leveller. He got the goal to make it 2-2, and it was a fantastic goal as well. So the ball went up to him. He wins the flick on. Christian Eriksen chases it into the box. The defender slide tackles and tries to clear. Rashford gets onto it. And just as Rashford gets onto it, he's kind of got 2 defenders coming at him, which he skips a pass. He's got the goalkeeper possibly coming out. He has to stop. He has to use his strength to keep the defender behind him. He's safe in the knowledge that if the defender has to make a tackle, he fouls him. He could have gone down earlier. He didn't. It was rewarded because it was a fantastic bit of play by Marcus Rashford through the middle, getting his goal. And that is for Marcus Rashford. 8 goals now for the season in 18 games. Doing really well for him. Predominantly, obviously, playing off the left, but he's played through the middle at times this season as well. Very good goal for Marcus Rashford. Ashley Young then went off. He was given a good reception, as you'd expect. Successful career at Man United, won a lot of trophies. So it was good to see Ashley Young back, although it wasn't good. Obviously, it wouldn't have been good to see him leaving the pitch a happy man. He did go off, though, at 2-2. They brought Tyrone Mings on, and I kind of thought United will have a few chances with Tyrone Mings because they're a little bit rash, and this is turning into a cup game. And with a cup game, it's going to be backwards and forwards. It's going to be a little bit open. It was open, and Tyrone Mings allowed Manchester United to play. Bruno had been involved with a little battle with Douglas Luiz, which saw both of them booked, and it continued throughout the game. He got a goal. It was deflected in off Tyrone Mings. It came from the press. Now, United had impressed with their pressing. Initially with Martial, Rashford, I thought they were pressing really good from the front, and we were creating moments of uncertainty and errors in the Villa backline on a number of occasions. And this time it paid off with a different front three. Garnacho picks up the ball. He thought quickly and got it into Bruno. Bruno gets the shot away. And now maybe the keeper saves it if Mings don't get there, but it's going into the goal. So surely that's Bruno's goal and Garnacho's assist. But 3-2, and Bruno deserved that goal. He had worked hard. He'd missed the last game against Aston Villa. I thought we missed him when he was suspended, and he returned and he looked very good and he got a goal, which I think his performance deserved as well. Then we saw Rashford go off and Casemiro come on. As I said, 8 goals in 18 games now for Marcus Rashford. A very good performance by him today. McTominay then hit the bar with a good effort. Eriksen headed over before Garnacho with the pass of the game. A fantastic pass by Alejandro Garnacho. And to be fair to Scott McTominay, at that time of the game, for someone that's played 90 minutes, you wouldn't be surprised if they kind of give up on it or they fail to make it, because he had to stretch to get there. But it was a great pass, and his run made it. Fantastic stretch by McTominay. Striker's goal, to be fair. And it was 4-2 to Manchester United. United get the win. We get Burnley at home in the next round. With Man City playing Liverpool, hopefully the EFL Cup could be something we can take seriously, get further along in the competition, and who knows what can happen. But a good result at Old Trafford, proper cup game against Aston Villa, and a good result for United. I didn't go today. I let my dad and my uncle take the ticket, but enjoyed watching it. It was a really good game. In the second half, thankfully we come out on top. From an Aston Villa perspective, I thought Jacob Ramsey is a very good player, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the move very soon, unless Unai Emery gets them fighting for Europe and stuff, who knows. But he's a very, very good player. But I thought United deserved their win today, especially after that second half performance. The first half performance wasn't great at all, but I didn't think either team did enough to really take a lead into the break. And in the second half, we took our chances. The Martial goal, very good goal. Rashford goal, very good goal. Garnacho's pass for McTominay, and the Bruno goal. So happy days, happy days. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below about everything discussed. As I said, we've got Burnley in the next round. Let me just bring up their full draw for you guys. Excuse me. Right. So we've got Charlton against Brighton. We've got MK Dons against Leicester. Manchester United, Burnley. Man City, Liverpool. Newcastle, Bournemouth. Blackburn, Forest. Southampton, Lincoln. Wolves, Gillingham. So let's say if we're going to predict the next round. You'd expect Wolves, obviously anything can happen in a cup game. But you'd expect Wolves to beat Gillingham at home. Away from home, maybe the shot can happen. Then you've got Southampton, Lincoln. Again, you'd expect Southampton to edge it at home. Southampton, Wolves. Blackburn, Forest. That's an interesting game. I'm going to go Blackburn for that one. Newcastle, Bournemouth. I think Newcastle are going to take this tournament seriously. Eddie Howe against his former club. So Newcastle. Then you got City, Liverpool. Go with Man City. I think after the World Cup, City's squad probably come in handy. So you go with Manchester City. Then you got MK Dons, Leicester. Leicester looking good recently. Obviously, anything can happen after the World Cup. But you go Leicester and Charlton, Brighton. You go Brighton. I'm obviously going for the favourites here in most places. But Brighton, Leicester, City, Newcastle, Blackburn, Southampton, Wolves. And so if United get through, that would be the last day if we can beat Burnley. And if my predictions are correct. And whilst it's a competitive last day, you'd fancy us to get to at least the semi, maybe the final, depending on a draw, if you don't get City next round. And let's take it seriously. How good is Garnacho though? I'm seeing loads of comments about Garnacho. John says Garnacho still coming on leaps and bounds. Hope he keeps this up because he could be one hell of a player. Habiba, how you doing, mate? Fresh Prince says I fancy a Lincoln Gillingham final. Neek says hope we batter Vincent Kompany's Burnley. Fat says United should win this cup, especially with the City and Liverpool tie. Obviously, City get through that, they would be favourites for the cup. Yes, John, how you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Aggressively pressing, that doesn't happen when Ronaldo plays as oh snap. Yeah, we play a lot better when Anthony Martial leads the line. Hopefully, 60 minutes under his legs today. Another goal for him as well. 4 goals in 6 appearances. That's not even 90 minutes. I don't think he's played 90 minutes once in those 6 games. So it's probably about 3 games. He's got 4 goals. He's doing well in terms of a goal return. We need him to be fit. Obviously, we've got this game now. Then we've got this League Cup game straight after the World Cup. I think we've got a few friendlies during the World Cup. I'm sure he'll be involved in them. If we can get him up to speed, match fit for around the Boxing Day fixtures and all that as well, United's team could look a lot different second half of the season, because with him leading the line we do look like a different team. So hopefully we can keep him fit. Great performance by the team, says Abraham. Could have been a worse draw, says Tobias. Yeah, not a bad draw at all, especially with City getting Liverpool. Cameron says please get rid of Maguire. I can't do anything to get rid of him. I don't really want to go in too much on Maguire's performance. Everyone knows what I think. I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. He was at fault a few times today, but let's not dwell on it. Everyone knows my opinion on it, so I'm not going to keep digging him out. Good to see Rashford scoring. I thought his goal was very good. Very good goal. Especially considering the circumstances. Really good goal. What about Malacia? Poor defence. I thought Malacia played well today. Maybe I'm being too nice. I thought Villa's goals came from, so Fred loses the ball, or you could say a combination of Martial. Fred loses the ball. But then Fred falls asleep. He looks called for a handball. He should just play on. He could potentially win the ball straight away. They break, one pass, cuts Maguire out of the game. He should be cutting that out. He didn't. So then you're thinking, right, that's, we lose a midfield 50-50. Maguire's out of position, goal conceded. Is Malacia at fault for that? I don't think so. And then we had the second goal, which I thought Delot fell asleep. And Lindelof, was it Maguire or Lindelof? And McTominay should have closed down Ashley Young. Didn't get closed down. So I don't think Malacia was at fault there. Now, you don't have to be you can be defensively poor and not lead to a goal. But I can't remember many moments where he put us in danger. Although Miles says Malacia had some sloppy moments, but he works hard and has some great balls into our forwards. Akbar says, did you see Speed turn up? The kid is so funny. Yeah, I've seen some videos with Paddy Curran, seen him in the stands. He loves Ronaldo, then he loves Ronaldo. He turned up and Ronaldo's not there, bless him. Hopefully he gets to meet him before he leaves. Or goes to the Fulham game. Ronaldo might be involved then. He was out for illness today, but who knows what that is. Maybe he's saving himself for the World Cup. We had, cheers, Cecida, who points out that we had Dubravka making his debut in goal. Dubravka. You know, again, I don't think he was at fault for the goals. Had some good moments with distribution, coming out from the back, you know, relieving the defence of that pressure by coming out, meeting the ball early. So I don't think he had too bad a game as a deputy. Wasn't too bad at all. So all in all today for Man United, job done. We get the win, 4-2. We're still in the cup. We got Burnley in the next round. And, you know, hopefully we can keep it cracking and get into the last 8. And then who knows who we'll get. But we know we'll lose Man City or Liverpool in the next round as they face each other. And who else would we say are? Leicester are still in it. Leicester are still in it. Newcastle are still in it. They'd consider themselves a chance. So, yeah, Brighton. Big chance for United in the Cup. Let's see what we can do. Anyway, keep it locked. We'll have much more coming your way. Until next time, I've been Adam McKola. But for now, I'm out of here. See you in a bit.